Hi everybody, this is Steve Wascher here in beautiful Erie, Pennsylvania at FishUSA. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to tie a very simple steelhead fly. It's called a Crystal Meth. It utilizes only 3 materials. In about another 30 to 40 days, those chromers are going to be crawling up the creeks, and this is a very effective fly. It's very effective. It's also very easy to tie. So, here we go. Today I'm going to be utilizing a scud hook or an egg hook. It's a Mustad C67S. It's 2 extra heavy and 3x short. This is size 10. This is a nice hook. It's a great platform for tying this fly. It's got a straight eye. It's very strong and very stout. There again, I believe I said this is a size 10 hook. So the materials you're going to be needing are, I'm using a fluorescent orange 6/0 thread. Fluorescent orange or red are my colors of choice for when tying most any egg pattern. And I've experimented with other colors, but the fish seem to like these two a little bit better. All right, it imitates blood or whatever's in the membrane of the eggs. All right, so I'm going to affix this to my hook with a jam knot right behind the eye of the hook. Cut off my tag end, and I'm going to work in consecutive wraps all the way back to the point of the barb, right there, but not the point of the hook, right there. So the first material I'm going to use is, this is called Midge Flash in Pearl, which is available here at FishUSA. You can use regular crystal flash, that works just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about an inch, inch and a half, and 3 strands. And we're going to double it over. Now this step is not ultimately necessary, but it certainly doesn't hurt. This is going to be kind of tough to see because it's pearlescent. What I'm going to do is just wet that with a little saliva, and I'm going to put it at a 45-degree angle in front of, or excuse me, on my side of the hook. I'm going to make 1, 2 wraps, 3 wraps around, right in place. Then I'm going to fold back the tag end. And I make 1, 2, 3 wraps right in place. Now what I'm going to do is I want the tail to be the same length as the hook shank. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm a big proportion person. Now it's going to matter to a steelhead. So the length of my tail. It is the length of the hook shank, and I'm measuring from just behind the eye of the hook to the point of the barb, not the point of the hook. There we go. There's my measurement. I utilize my thumb and forefinger as my measuring point, and there's my cutoff point. There you have it. You got 6 strands of crystal flash. Now, in tying this fly, and I'm using all pearl, I'm using diamond braid. The stuff comes in a ton of different colors. I found that straight pearl, chartreuse, some reds, some hot oranges, all work very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 strands of this material. I'm going to cut a 3-inch strand and another 3-inch strand. There again, some of you may want to tie it with more than 2 or 3 strands. I've seen it tied with even 1 strand, but for today I'm utilizing 2. I'm going to shore up my tag ends. I'm going to cut them nice and clean. Right where my tie-off point was for my crystal flash, for the tail, is where my tie-in point is going to be for the diamond braid. So what I do is I lay about a 1/16 of an inch of this material right at the tie-in point. And granted, my index finger is encompassing the hook shank as well as my thumb, so that material will not roll when I apply thread pressure. And tension is your friend. I make 1, 2, 3, 4 wraps. Now, if you notice, I'm pulling downward on my thread. That material is going nowhere. It's because I put as much pressure on there as I possibly could when tying. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim off my excess. I got a little bit of shabbies there, or you can cover them with thread wraps. And I'm going to advance my thread nowhere. Oops, I just hit the point of the hook. Son of a gun. All right, now excuse me. Well, this is a good tying lesson, all right? So I've got my tag end that I broke off, so how am I going to fix that? Well, I've got a bobbin threader here on the table, all ready. I'm going to re-thread my bobbin. There we go. All right, so I've got my broken off end. I'm just going to pull it up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tag end, I'm going to hold the tag end in my left hand, and I'm just going to wrap over that a few wraps to cover up the tag end and wrap back. Then I've got to trim off the 2 excess tag ends, and voila, you're back in business. So sometimes a mistake is a good learning lesson. So here we are. Now I've got my 2 sections of diamond braid. What I'm going to do is, just like when you tie a sucker spawn fly, you're going to advance them forward and then you're going to pull back. And I want to keep this material on top of the hook shank. Now I've pulled this back about 1/8 of an inch. I make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. Notice that material is now rolling on the hook shank. I come in, I do the same thing. I advance it forward and I pull back. And I want my loops to be about 1/8 of an inch long. I make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. Now you can see our fly is starting to come together and it looks like an egg cluster. I do the same thing. I got room for 1 more. I got some excess material there that doesn't want to cooperate. 1, 2. Now I trim off my excess. You can also fold back your excess as part of the fly. A little problem here, hang on folks. I take everything with a pincer grasp and pull all that material back so that I can fashion a nice neat head. So there we have it. So now it's time to finish off our fly. We are going to utilize the half hitch tool. 1, 2 around the tool, over the eye of the hook. We're going to do this about 3 times. Cut off our excess. Now I'm going to hit it with a little bit of head cement. I'm going to clear the eye with my bodkin, my dubbing needle. And there you have it. That's the Crystal Meth tied in pearl and with orange thread. Extremely effective pattern here on our tributaries for steelhead. There again, there are probably other tying ways you can tie this maybe, but nonetheless that works for me and I hope it works for you. I hope to see you on the stream this fall. For FishUSA, I'm Steve Wascher. Have a great day. God bless. Tight lines.